Hello, everyone. Welcome to BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. So, with that, we want to remind you that, hey, every Thursday we're here with Healthy Happy Habits with Robin Shimizu and friends, and we have a great show for you today. We want you to sit back, relax, hydrate, and we're going to get this party started. I have Robin in the studio with me today. I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups, and we're the Biz Chicks. We want to give a shout out to my partner, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. And we want to welcome all of you who are watching live and on the replay. Cecilia, we have missed you. How you doing? It's so good to have you in the studio.
We
So
have Miss Cecilia.
we have
Yes.
really missed her, yes. So we are just happy to have you on
Mhm.
board. And for all of you watching on the replay, those of you listening on Clubhouse or on other social media channels, we just want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. We love you. We hope you'll subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. And we look forward to having this conversation. What you got for us today, Robin?
Well, I thought I would remind people about the toxic effects of sugar. We
Mm.
haven't talked about sugar in a while. Last week we talked about decluttering, and that was a good week for me to be sheltered in and getting rid of things during the week, and actually did help me get through the week pretty well with all this heat.
Mm-hmm.
But today I thought let's remind people about the toxic effect of sugar because we forget, and um, it's really bad for us. Sugar is really, really bad for us, and we just need to
Cecilia
cut it
says,
out of our diet.
well, Cecilia says that she says, OMG, sugar, my drug. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
It's
serious.
and
So
it's sneaky, isn't it?
it is, and there's 10 toxic effects, and I just want to go through them really quickly because we
Wow.
have a great guest today, and I don't want to take away from her time. But let's just go through them really fast, just to remind people.
Okay.
Um, so sugar can raise the risk of type 2 diabetes. Now we all know that, right?
Well,
But
let's
yeah,
not
well,
assume.
yeah, I mean it can contribute to type 2 diabetes, and so it's one of those things that, why our body doesn't want it. It doesn't really need it, and you get sugar from other foods. So
Hmm.
anyway, so that was number 1, type 2 diabetes. Number 2 was it can actually make you depressed
Ah,
when you eat sugar. People eat sugar to get, to feel better. It
uh-huh.
actually does the opposite. Reaching for a chocolate bar or a bag of candy or some ice cream during a stressful time, using sugar as a mood booster just doesn't work. And it's linked to 40% a high depression rate due to the fact that the insulin in your body is lower and your
Uh-huh.
dopamine is lower. And it's just counteracts everything that you would want sugar to do for you, which is to elevate your mood, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sugar can increase your fat storage.
Okay.
So while we already know that adding calories comes from, fructose laden products like sugar, table sugar, things like that, it can cause fat accumulation.
Oh,
So that's
wow.
not good. Sugar causes wrinkles. You already knew that too much sugar inside your body causes insulin resistance. However,
Mm.
refined sugars can also wreak havoc on the outside as well. Sugar causes wrinkles and saggy skin when it attacks and breaks down the protein fibers in the collagen and elastin in our skin.
Wow.
Sugar raises cholesterol.
Mm.
So there's a long, scary connection between sugar and refined sugar and high cholesterol. So it's does the opposite of what we want our bodies to do, is to get rid of all of the cholesterol. So it says diabetes. Let's see. Found in there's a correlation between increased bad cholesterol levels and unhealthy triglyceride blood levels and high sugar diets.
Oh.
While those with low sugar diets have the highest good HDL cholesterol levels.
Mm. Okay.
Sixth one, we're almost done. Sixth one, sugar raises the risk of heart disease. The American Diabetes Association, American Heart Association have long linked type 2 diabetes to the increased risk of both heart disease and stroke.
Mm.
Sugar can make you overeat. You heard that
Really?
claims that sugar, eating a high sugar diet, the refined sugar messes up with your appetite, meaning that the high sugar diets your body can't tell when you're full. And so, in order for your body to send proper satiation messages to the brain, it requires leptin hormones. And the high fructose levels of leptin in your brain doesn't receive these messages because you've got too much sugar in your diet. So it actually turns your brain off.
I
Your brain.
believe that. I believe that because yeah, because when I eat better, I'm not hungry as often.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Huh.
Sugar restricts your blood vessels. You already know that sugar in your diet causes high insulin levels in your bloodstream. However, chronic high insulin coursing through your body causes abnormal cell growth around your artery walls, resulting in blood vessels um, constriction and high blood pressure, ultimately heart attacks or stroke.
Mm.
Sugar
Wow.
is actually zaps your energy. This is the ninth one. All day long, when we're aware that our energy is crashing and we want to, take a little chocolate bar or whatever to boost our energy, delivering refined sugar can actually spike your sugar, but then it causes a crash at the end. So it's a temporary high that you get from sugar, resulting in weight gain and lower energy levels and troubled sleeping. And the tenth thing, which is this is for Cecilia, sugar is extremely addictive.
Cecilia. Oh my gosh, it is addictive, huh? But you can kick it, Celia.
That's right. Sugar does the very same thing, targeting the brain's pleasure center by triggering dopamine releases. And eventually you crave that sugar high, and it's tougher and tougher to break it.
Mm.
So, yeah, you can get hooked on sugar. Isn't that crazy? So, I
Hmm.
just wanted to remind people that sugar is really bad, and for us to just start eliminating it every chance we can get. Don't eliminate it completely, cut way
All
down.
things in moderation.
Exactly. All things in moderation. Yeah.
Wow.
So,
That was a stunning reminder. I'd forgotten
mhm,
how many things white sugar can affect.
mhm.
So yeah,
But sugar is in a lot of things in different forms too. You got fructose and dextrose and all of those other kinds of forms.
it can be,
So,
and it can be hidden in bread and baked goods, and yes, all
yeah.
kinds of little sweeteners.
So just be
Wow.
mindful about what we're eating, what we're putting in our body, because our body, it's fuel for our body, and we don't want to
Mhm.
give our body bad gasoline.
Ah, I like it. All righty. Well, what do you say we bring up your special guest today?
Yes, let's do that.
Okay.
Today we have Lawana Parker, Dr. Lawana Parker,
Mm-hmm.
who is our we were talking about being mindful this morning. Lawana and I were talking about being mindful, and what she's going to teach us a little bit is about the benefits of journaling
Uh-huh.
and how that can help our whole being, basically. And I started journaling, Lawana, because you're more it's well, let's let Lawana speak as Lawana does,
Oh, let me unmute her. She muted.
and introduce herself a little bit to us, and then tell us what she has for us today.
Okay.
Okay. Now you have to remember that I can get very talkative. So feel free to cut me off anytime.
We'll
Uh,
raise our hand.
all right. Well, I am Dr. LaWanna Parker, and I am a journaling coach, but I don't just do that. I'm also an author, a blogger, and part-time podcaster. I say that because I don't do it on a regular basis. And I'm a speaker and I enjoy sharing information, things that I learned. And one of the things that I have learned is that journaling is so, so very helpful for you. There's no doubt that journaling can be helpful for self development. And when you write down your thoughts and feelings, you gain valuable insights into yourself and your life. And it can also help to release pent up emotions and reduce stress. That's just a couple of things that it can do for you. But I get people sometimes asking me things like, well, does it really work?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yes, it does. I like to believe I'm a walking, living proof of the fact that it does work. Even as a kid growing up, when things really bothered me, I would write it down and I would feel so much better afterwards. But I didn't keep those things. As some of you know, I've mentioned it before because my sister got a hold to what we call a diary in those days.
Uh, ah,
And she shared some things that I didn't want shared with other people. And so I kind of walked away from both journaling, writing, even writing letters. I wouldn't write a letter to somebody because I thought, well, what if they show my letter to somebody I don't want, didn't want to see? So I shied away from it for years,
mm-hmm.
and as a result, I had this thing that I had pushed down inside of me for so long that it finally just burst through and said, I've had enough. I want out. I want to write, and you're not going to stop me. So I started writing, and I started sharing some of my feelings on paper. Now I didn't keep all of those things again because I guess the memory of my sister doing that still kind of hung in there, and so I didn't. There's a lot of stuff I wish now I had kept because it would have worked wonders for memoirs and whatnot. But
Mm,
let me share you about with some things that uh, journaling can help you with. Those pent up emotions that you have. Well, if you're bottling up your emotions, it can be helpful to let them out through journaling because you can write down your thoughts and feelings about them, and it helps you to process them in a healthy way, and it prevents them from causing problems in your life. I believe that sometimes we cause our own health issues because of the things that we carry on within our heads. Our thoughts and feelings affect the rest of our bodies, whether we want
mm,
to admit it or not. Um, I I may be looking for an excuse, but when I lost my son, I was wearing a size 10, and I was in my, well, how old was I? I was 40 something, I forget now, but I was still wearing a size 10. And if I say so myself, I thought I looked pretty good. Within 6 months, I went from a size 10 to a size 18.
mm,
And I did not lose it. I convinced myself that it was okay. I didn't need to be out there looking for somebody. I'd already had my husband, I still had children. So why worry about a little weight?
mm.
Yeah. Well, that weight kept going until I got to a uh, what you call a 2X. Thankfully, I stopped there, but I didn't get the mindset for losing it because I was comfortable. So I, when I think back now, and I think if I had wrote those things because I didn't have anyone to talk to, everybody was coming to me, and
Mm.
there was some times I actually felt resentful because I thought that's my son that's gone. I need to talk to someone, and I wasn't able to do that. So for me, that's how that's what happened. It just went into my body, so to speak,
Mm.
and it stayed there. Uh,
Luana, I think this is really important because, in the last few years, a lot of people have lost loved ones.
mm-hmm.
And so this could be uh, a really significant healing process.
Mm-hmm.
I believe so, because my eating habits didn't change.
Hmm.
I still continue to eat the way I had always eaten, but the weight just started coming on, and uh, because of what I was going through, I wasn't thinking about it. It didn't cross my mind until one day I realized that nothing fit anymore.
Hmm.
None of my loose dresses were fitting, and so I had to take a look at myself. But then, because of what I was going through, I just, yeah, not to worry about it. I don't have to go out and capture a husband. I already got a husband. I'm not looking for anyone, and so I didn't worry about it. Uh, when I, that's just how we justify things.
Mm-hmm.
Another one of the things that journaling does, and it works very well, and is that it can help you to gain insights into yourself.
Mm-hmm.
There are many people who find that journaling is a helpful way to get to know themselves better. It's a way of recording your thoughts and feelings and allows you to see patterns and trends in your behavior. And this can be very valuable when you think about yourself in terms of personal growth and development, because you can recognize maybe some of those. Well, like in my case, it was a habit of convincing myself it didn't matter because I already had. And if you're writing these down, you can see that and recognize that, yes, it does matter. I need to change what I'm doing. And you can go and get the help you need. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
don't do like I did. I felt that, counselors and psychiatrists and therapists and things, they have too many people to deal with as it is. They don't need me adding my problems to them. I I used to even do that sometimes when I would talk to God. I would start telling him things, and then I go, "Oh, you have so many people who are bugging you. I don't need to be adding to it." I mean, yeah, I was convinced that I was helping out by not by not sharing my thoughts and feelings to God or going to some type of counselor, to relieve the things. I was just letting everybody come to me, and unloading what they were going through. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it ever occurred to anyone to ask what I might have been going through. They just needed to talk, and as usual, I was there. Um, Now, I've had people who ask me about goals. How does journaling help you with goals?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're working towards a goal, journaling can help you to stay on track, because you're writing about your progress and your challenges, and you better understand what's working and what isn't. And additionally, uh, they're doing a lot of research on journaling these days, and what the research has shown is that people who write about their goals are more likely to achieve them. There is something about writing. Now, using the computer is great, don't get me wrong, and if that's the way you prefer to do it, then use the computer. But there's something about when you have a pen in your hand and a paper and you're writing that seems to connect better, to me anyway. I just feel like I express more, I get things out, and I think better. And I can look at things and have uh, a more logical understanding of what's going on. And it releases all of that pent up stuff that I've had been holding on to. So I just like using a pencil, even when I'm writing, doing. If I want to write an article or something, I usually start out by writing it on a piece of paper, and then I transfer it over to the computer. Now I know that's double double dipping, but it just works better for me that way.
Mm-hmm. I
Now,
love writing with a fountain pen. It just makes writing to me easier because it's pretty. I don't know.
Well, that's true. Not just a fountain pen, but I have different color pens, different
Uh-huh.
shapes and sizes of pens. It's whatever, when I look at them, whatever grabs my attention, that's the one I use because I just feel like it's going to bring out what I need brought out.
Mhm.
And there's something about colors. Colors, represent different moods. Color, there is so much to colors. I should incorporate that into my journaling because colors can also determine how you feel about things as
Mhm.
well. Uh,
Mhm.
Mhm.
I remember I had a dress one time. Oh, I love that dress. I love how I looked in it, how it made me feel. And then one day somebody said, whenever I see you in that dress, I always wonder if you're feeling okay. She said there's just something about the color that doesn't seem to go well with you. Well, I kind of thought she was being in a subtle way trying to insult me. And until I took, uh, let's see, the color image came out about that time, and I went to one of those classes where they were doing their colors. And
Yes.
discovered that was not a color for me. As the lady said, when I because I happened to wear the dress that particular day, and she said that color g- brings out the yellow in your complexion, and
Mhm.
it's kind of a jaundiced look. She said
Oh,
if you're gonna wear that color, put something above it
between.
that goes with your facial complexion because that color really gives the impression that you're not feeling well. So after that, I started being more careful about what I put on.
Yes. Yes.
So, and those colors, they do affect you. And so maybe I'll think about incorporating that with my journaling. Now, there's another one I want to share about journaling, and that's improving your mental health.
Mm.
Now, this one really is important because there's evidence to suggest that journaling can be beneficial for mental health. For example, in a study they did, participants who wrote about their trauma showed improvements in symptoms of PTSD. And journaling has also been helpful for people with depression and anxiety. And we know that therapists have incorporated journaling into when working with their clients. They'll usually give them a journal and tell them to write. And that's because it makes a difference. It's almost like cleansing yourself from the inside out,
Uh-huh.
taking a vacuum cleaner and just sucking out all the junk.
Mm.
So that's a good way to look at it when it comes to journaling.
Mhm.
But there's so many things that journaling can help you with that I could be here all day just sharing with you about how it can help you because it can help you when it comes to your immune system, when getting better sleep. Uh, it can even help with managing chronic pain. Now, I have not had
What?
chronic pain, so I can't tell you for a fact that this one would work, but I would imagine because I was reading an article about it one time, and it said that if you suffer chronic pain, journaling may be able to help you manage it. Um,
Wow.
and that's kind of unusual. And what they said was that participants who wrote about their pain for 20 minutes per day
Mm-hmm.
for 3 days showed a reduction in their pain intensity. Now,
Wow. I have a question. You said it helps your immune system.
hmm,
Talk a little bit about that, please.
okay.
Because we
Well,
all want to boost our immune system.
again, this isn't something that I've gone through personally,
Uh-huh.
but what I had read was that the research shows that journaling helps the boost the immune system because what happens when you are writing about your emotions, and again, this reading, if I remember right, it said for 20 minutes for a day, and it helps to increase the antibodies.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
It is. I'm constantly amazed about the things that I learn when it comes to journaling.
Uh-huh.
And I do know this one. It helped some. I didn't do a lot of writing about it because I was too busy uh, grieving and feeling sorry for myself and trying not to be angry with God because they had taken my son home. And that's that it helps you to cope with grief. You know, uh, what I should have done was sat down and just wrote about all my frustration, anger, and how I was upset about things, even about family members who didn't seem sensitive to the fact. Now, maybe they thought by getting me to talk to them about what they were going through that it might help me, but I was resentful because I was trying to figure out how to handle my own
Mm-hmm.
grief. But had I wrote about it, I might have gotten past it a little sooner than what I did.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Mhm.
I
So, do you
also
have any questions?
Mm-hmm.
I think you're right, Luana, in the sense that licensed therapists, people that deal with people's troubles every day,
Hmm.
one of the first things they ask you to do is to start writing down your feelings because you're so honest when you're in a journal and it's your own and it's like, a diary for lack of a better
Hmm.
word, but you're writing down angry things. You're writing down things where you messed up. You're writing down things where, people harmed you or whatever, those are
Hmm.
really good things. And then you look at it, and as Joe would say, you watch it go away. You don't
Hmm.
suppress it, but you let it go. So it's
It's
cathartic.
easier to let go at that times like that. And I also call it my way of talking with God because He sends me answers through journaling. And I, if that's what works for you, it works for me anyway. That I
Mm-hmm.
can talk with God. I don't know why, because I still had that feeling that I'm overburdening Him with my problems when there are other people who had more serious problems. But still, it gives me a sense of comfort to think or to believe. However I choose to want to think of it at the time. Is that I'm conversing with God, and when
Mm-hmm.
answers come to me, it's Him responding to what I've written.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow. Well, Dr. Parker, we
Hmm.
know that you have a book, The Courage to Live My Dream. Do you
Hmm.
have any other books that we need to know about?
I'm actually working on a couple of books right now. One is a book that I'm dedicating to people who have made a difference in my life to help me be who I am today.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one that I'm working on, well, that one I think I'm going to leave as a surprise. And I say it because I started it, but I don't know if that's the one I'm going to end up finishing.
Okay.
I've had I've had something else that popped in my head that I may end up doing that one instead. But the one that's dedicated to individuals who have made a difference in my life will
Mm-hmm.
definitely should be finished by November.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, hold on. Let me see here. I want to share a little screen here. Let's see. Um,
Luana, maybe you can
can
also tell us how we can join your journaling group and things like that.
I'm
now
actually doing a master class tomorrow at 11 for anyone
oh,
who would like to attend. And let me put the
link
link
in.
in here where they can go and register.
Thank you. And meanwhile, guys, as you can see, this is Dr. Parker's book, Courage to Live Your Dream. We'll put the link in the chat. So if you want to go over and purchase that book, you can do so. Okay.
Wow.
Hmm.
I encourage you to go to Amazon. It's less.
Okay. Okay. And you can also get this book on Amazon. Okay.
Okay.
I want to know how I got over there.
I have no idea, but I found it.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, it's nice to know it's floating around. And
There you go.
So, but if you want to save a few dollars, you want head over to Amazon.
Okay, so there's the link for Eventbrite to join Dr. Parker's class.
Mhm.
Oh,
Am I
good.
correct?
Yeah, it'll be about 90 minutes, maybe less, in which I share some of what we do in the writing, because I don't just do the journaling, I also do creative writing, which is another way that you can let go of emotions and things. I started with just the journaling, but I hear some people who were asking about, well, I want to write and I don't know how to get started. Well, creative writing is another way to get started writing, because we do some fun things to give you ideas, wonderful ideas on uh, expressing yourself.
Hmm.
I love stories, as I tell people. So,
Well, I
um,
know that you are a blogger. So let me see if this is your blog site. See, the internet is pretty powerful for finding you. am,
that's
I,
it.
am I in the right
Mhm.
place?
Wow.
Okay.
It's actually called Lawana's blog,
Hmm.
but I have the speak, read, and write because that's what I do quite a bit of.
And I'll put that over in the chat. Then I'll put the link in if that's okay with you.
It's fine with
In the
me.
chat for people to find lawanasblog.com. There you
Hey,
go.
you know what? I'm almost at 800. I
All
believe.
right.
Think I do have 30, 31 more posts to do, and I'll be at 800
Mm-hmm.
continuous posts.
Wow.
And at that, I just might go on Facebook Live and shout it
Celebrate.
to the world. I,
Celebrate. Good job.
oh,
Well
yeah.
done, Dr. Parker. We
I
love your consistency and your enthusiasm.
thank you.
Hmm. Hmm.
Hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to ask Robin, who's the guest for next week? Do you know?
Next week,
Hmm.
I'm doing this off memory. I think it's Linus
Okay.
Woods Mullen.
Linus has been featured in a national magazine recently. So we'll be
Oh,
talking to her about that. First Woman. You can see it on newsstands in your grocery store. And she is actually in the centerfold there. She is
oh,
a
wow.
the
Congratulations
magazine
to
is for
her.
women over 40. And yeah, so we're excited. So she is right in the middle there with a huge article. Um,
Oh,
and
that's
so
amazing.
yes, our biz chicks are just doing big things. And Dr. Parker, we want to thank you so much for your time today. You know, guys, if you haven't already started, you need to start. It has a number of benefits, and we hope that you will take advantage of the opportunity to leave a legacy of writing for those who come behind you. Maybe your children don't want to know right now because they lived through it, but your grandchildren and your children's children's children might want to know what that's all about. I know that a lot of times my children ask me about their grandmother, and fortunately, they had an opportunity to interview her when they were little for a class project. And so
Mhm.
they have some memories. But when she started talking about it, we've never talked about her childhood. And she had lived through the Depression and some other things. And so the things she shared with them, I was like, really? Really?
It's funny you should say that because my niece was asking me questions. I was on the phone with her last week,
Hmm.
and she was asking me questions about my mother because she didn't get to know her that well. And I
Exactly.
was sharing with her some of the memories I had, and I told her about when we lived on the farm with her parents, when she went back home to take care of her mother who had
Hmm.
cancer, and in those days it could be long drawn out.
Yes.
And so I was sharing with her about how we took baths in the kitchen in a tub that they heated the water on the
In the tin
stove,
tub, yes.
and how we had to save water to prime the pump. I was sharing all these things, and she's going, "Really? You did that?" wow, I didn't even think anybody was still alive that
Because they think of that as almost like
so
pioneer
old.
days. They don't even know what a pump is. They,
A lot of
you
them
know,
don't, and the idea that we actually milk cows and churn the milk and got butter and stuff, and she just couldn't believe it. She just, oh, Auntie, you should write that down because I didn't know any of that. And
out in the yard making soap, all of that. It's amazing. Oh my goodness. So yeah, I think the things we take for granted
Mhm.
probably are amazing to them.
Mhm.
Probably are amazing to them, and we should leave an account.
Mhm.
Yes, we should.
Leave an
We
account. I
really
think they think that the only people who did these things were Little House on the Prairie.
should.
They're probably fictional characters, but everybody lived that way. So
Mhm.
it was it just was like going to Walmart, I guess. Everybody goes to Walmart. Everybody makes their own soap,
Oh,
smokes their own bacon. Not so evidently. So,
yeah.
so with that, I just want everybody to remember to share and to take advantage. And remember that there is a class going on tomorrow. You may want to sign up for that. Okay. Robin, I'm going to let you have the last word. Thank you for the information on sugar, for reminding me why I need to cut it loose. Because I had started back. I started back. Look, I bought a whole bag of candy bars. It's coming up for October, and all the candy is out.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I just want to end the show by reminding people about the importance of our own influence on our own family. And like
Mm-hmm.
Lawana was talking to her niece the other day, and Terry, you've got these little ones running around your house and things like that. And we have the opportunity to encourage them to journal, to encourage them to start a diary, to do things. My family didn't do that when I was
Mm-hmm.
growing up. So we have now
Mine didn't
the
either.
knowledge, like Luana, if you had somebody when you were in your 40s, like the Biz Chicks telling you, geez, maybe you should go, take care of yourself
Mm-hmm.
for a
Mm-hmm.
change. We have, so I always look at it that way, that I have a chance that I can influence in a very good way somebody else that
Hmm.
didn't maybe not get it from someone else. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
yeah. So I can't wait for my
Absolutely.
grandchildren.
Ah,
Good. You
oh,
start.
I know. I'm so glad mine are all grown. I got two that are still in high school, but the rest are all grown.
Yeah, but you still have influence over them, and
Yes.
you
Well,
still have wisdom that you can impart on them, even though they're all
that's true.
grown.
Well, that's true. That is true.
Mm-hmm.
And all of us as grandparents should be looking at that. We have a chance to help make a difference in tomorrow's world
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
with the young ones who are coming up now because we we are the generation who thought we knew it all and we made all these changes.
Oh, I
Some
thought
were
I
for the
thought that
good,
was
but
my
a lot of
daughter.
them were not.
Oh, see, I thought that was my daughter who knew everything. She turned 16 and suddenly she was a genius. So I was an idiot. I don't know. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
with that, I just want to encourage you, Robin, to interview your mom every day. Ask her a question every day. She's
Mhm.
what, 99?
Mm-hmm.
There's a
Oh yeah.
lot of history in there
Oh yeah.
that you are
Oh
in a
yeah.
position to dig out one teaspoon at a time. What a great
And take the
opportunity.
recorder so you don't forget something. Record those conversations.
Oh, yeah, then you don't have to write it down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Good
just
idea.
turn your phone on.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so now there really are conversations with mom to
Mm-hmm.
leave for future generations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, guys, with that, we want to remind you, don't forget, it's okay to make money in your business. So go to the front of your own line. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll be talking tech and English with the Biz Chicks. Come on over. Let's find something that will help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and take the hassle out of your hustle. Have a great day. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye.